Welcome back to Sip the Tallahassee. I'm your host, Coach Evans, and today we're going to do something a little different. So what I did was I sent the message out to my channel members and my Patreon members and asked them, to submit questions that they wanted me to answer live for an episode. And so I got a good number of questions from the YouTube side and the Patreon side, and that's what I'm going to do today into today's video. The thing is I think after this, I'm going to open it up to not just my members and patrons. I'm gonna open it up to everybody. So this is the plan, especially if people like the videos and watch the videos and we get a lot of engagement. The plan is to have one specifically for Patreon members and YouTube channel members, and then have another one for the general public. Now, the Patreon one and the members one, I'll get to every question. Now, the general one, if it turns into a lot of questions, which I hope it does, I'll pick out 5 or 10 best, or maybe even make multiple episodes. But that's what I'm gonna try to do going forward. And if you like this type of content, make sure when I drop the link to submit your questions, you do so. All right. With that being said, welcome back to Sip the Tallahassee. Let's get into our first questions with Coach in a long time. The first question comes from T Sizzle, and it reads, what's the keys for victory for us matching up against the Steelers for a third time? Now, probably going to give away some of my insights on my preview video, but the keys are winning the turnover battle. You must win the turnover battle or be even. Run the football. I know they're stout up front. Don't just let them pin their ears back and get in a pass rush situation. Run the football. Specifically on the edges, and in my eyes, on the edges. Use your screen game and use your quick passing game to get Lamar some easy throws early. Let him get in a rhythm. If your basic run package is not working or is not as efficient as you need it to be, then add your QB runs in. I wouldn't go into the game plan with QB runs as like a top priority. I let them be like a change up to what the initial plan was. Like if they, for whatever reason, are stopping the initial game plan, then I throw in some quarterback runs to try to loosen them up. And don't forget to take a shot every now and then. Don't forget to take a shot out. And I know Zay's probably not playing, but man, slip Tez out there, just let him run deep one time, just to try to keep them safeties from up in the box. And Bateman needs to step up and become wide receiver 1. I think Likely's going to have a huge role because I think Minka's going to be matched up with Mark Andrews. So Likely and Bateman going to have huge roles. Maybe even Keaton on screens. We saw it last week. Derek even catch the ball at the backfield. So I'll take that as well. So those are a few things we can do offensively to try to beat the Steelers for a third time. And defensively, don't let them have explosives. Make them earn each and every score that they get. Eliminate the explosives. Keep a lid on Pickens, and don't let them get momentum or hang around late. If we can get up early on them, put them away, foot on neck, and get them up out of there. All right, the next question comes from the Confident Stutter. He says, the O-line is one of my biggest worries, but last year's O-line was really bad too. Injuries, rotations, John Simpson. How do you think they compare at this point in the season to last year's group? Okay, that's a good question. So Ronnie's better. Ronnie's better this year than he was last year. He's healthier. He's moving a lot better. I highlighted on a couple of outside runs from last game. He's done a good job with his feet of getting the outside edge and being able to hook guys. He wasn't able to do that last year and the year before that because of his health. When you look at the combination of Makari and Voorhees versus John Simpson. John Simpson played every game, if I'm not mistaken. And Makari started off okay, but he went downhill. Voorhees looked really good this past Saturday, but it was against the Browns. I think we're in a better place at left guard. We're in a better place at left guard. You know, Makari, if it would have been solely Makari, John Simpson might have been a wash. But adding Voorhees in there, and I know his upside, I think we're better at left guard, even though I'm not happy where we're at left guard as a whole. Center, Linderbaum's better. He's probably going to get better every year he's in the league. Gotten stronger, more witty. It's just Linderbaum is what he is. Right guard, definite drop off. Kevin Zeitler to Daniel Falele, huge drop off in my opinion. Zeitler's probably going back to the Pro Bowl again this year. Made it last year. Huge drop off. Well, shit, Falele is a Pro Bowler. But still, huge drop off. And then at right tackle, Morgan Moses versus Roger Rosengarten. I think Moses was better in the run game than Rosengarten started out being, but Rosengarten was better in the pass game than Moses was. So at this point right now, I think Rosengarten is a better option than Morgan Moses was. So as a whole, I think our O-line is better, even though they aren't great. They're better than last year, and them being better than last year, I think, is part of the reason why the offense put up some of the numbers they have. Because even though our O-line ain't great, they're better, and then the guys around them are better as well, and playing better around them as well. This next one comes from Quinn V. Says, which playoff team do you think? This next one comes from Quinn V. He says, which playoff team do you, it should be think, is our best matchup or worst matchup? So our best matchup, I think, would have been the Houston Texans. They are struggling right now. CJ Stroud is not the CJ Stroud that we saw last year. And we just beat them 31-2. So I think, going against them again, even if they play better, I think we play better as well. And they may score 17, but I still think we'll push 30, mid 30 points on them. So I think our best matchup would have been the Houston Texans. I think our worst matchup is the one we got with the Steelers, because of so much familiarity, so much time against each other already, that this game is really going to be detail oriented. It's because they know each other, they know each other's strengths, they know each other's weaknesses. This game is going to be really, really detail oriented, and whoever wins those details, I think will win the game. Cut down on penalties, protect the ball, tackle, do not allow yards after catch, minimize explosives. So I think the Steelers are our worst matchup. I think the Texans would have been our best matchup. This next one comes from Winston0191. Says, are the Steelers the worst possible matchup to not have Zay for, with the quick game being a need for us? And how do you see us overcoming if Zay can't go? So yes, I just alluded to Steelers being our worst possible matchup, whether we have Zay or not, in my opinion. And the need for us to get it out, we have the guys that can do it. We just got, because they don't play a lot of cover one. Bateman got to win. Mark's got to win. Likely's got to win. Screen game can help. So we got enough playmakers to handle what they're going to do, but they play a boatload of cover one, so they have to use their route running. They got to use their hands. They got to put everything in their toolbox to get open, because they're going to see a lot of cover one this week, and occasionally they'll see some zone, but it's going to be a lot of cover one, so you got to beat your man. It's going to be some one-on-one battles that have to be won for us to be successful, and I think we have some guys that can do that, on top of what we have, running the ball with Derrick Henry and secondarily Lamar Jackson. So those are the questions from my YouTube members. I'll have a separate video shortly with the questions from the Patreon members. If you like this content, hit the like button. If you have not subscribed, please hit that button so you can do so, and hit that bell so you can be notified when the rest of the content drops. And in general, just if you got something you want me to answer, when I drop the link, make sure you put your question in, and I'll definitely get to it. So I appreciate y'all for coming out. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.